it was winter, and he was outside. I believe it was either a family member or a school chum or something, and they told him to lick a pole. He licked the pole, but
before the hood at 19, no tutorial books. You learn that the presence.
My aunt, I'll never forget, she shared this story with me, man, that, she said when I was a kid, I used to have to walk and clean cans of peaches together to walk down the road to school. And I was like, that's kind of weird. What you mean? You slamming peaches? I'm like, what's going on here? Well, she said, well, son, what you wanted to do was make a lot of noise loud enough so that if anyone tried to assault you, they knew you had a weapon. That's what it was like going to school for her. So when I heard that story, and I go through the Crips and the Blood. Now, I grew up in a Crip neighborhood, but then I have to go to a Blood bus stop. I'm thinking in my mind, if my aunt at a young age can have that strength to, I know she's experiencing fear, but knowing like, I'm not going to allow that fear to overcome me because I got to get this knowledge. That is the same thing that pushed me to be able to walk through those neighborhoods. And what I like about what you have in your book is, man, you had a rich, playlist of fatherhood from when you talk about, your great grandfather Sharpie, and when you talk about your Uncle C, and you talk about these males that were in this role. Now, so my question for you, is it just point out any story that your grandfather or your great grandfather told that may be a lesson for the Brooklynites to get some jewels from what it was like in that era. It could be any story if you wouldn't mind sharing with us.
now, of course, brother, of course, and just the fact that you allow me the space to do so. He shared a lot of stories with me about men learning their character and self-awareness. He shared a lot of stories, but one story that always stick out to me, because this show you the kind of different arrays of my great grandfather. His humor, his intelligence, his serious. He was very respected in my in the neighborhood my family grew up in. But he always told me the story. He shared the stories with me about how he walked to school. Their book bags was like little belts and all that. I thought out of movies, you know what I mean? But he made that a real thing for me, like telling me it was winter and how they used to walk this far. In one particular story, he told me, which I took not to be stupid, it was winter. And he was outside, I believe it was either a family member or a school chum or something. And they told him to lick a pole. He licked the pole, but his tongue hugged the pole. Why he licked like it was so cold. He said his tongue got stuck to the pole. And as far as small and funny as that was, I just took like, yo, I'm not just gonna do anything somebody tell me to do. It's little stuff like that, but we laughed for a while because he told me it took some time for him to get his tongue off the pole, but that was one of the stories he took. And just in the moments, it was little stuff like that where he thought it was little, but to me, that was big in my world. So although we was laughing, in the back of my mind, it was like, yo, don't just listen to what anybody say, because you're going to fuck around and get your tongue stuck to the pole.
Lesson learned, man.
Me, like we get BS machismo from society, right? Like
Yes.
especially I'm black man. But a lion roar don't really mean he a lion. It's more that comes with that. And being able to sit with my great grandfather and my grandfather, as well as my father, on both sides. I don't like to refer to my stepfather and my father, getting the richness from both sides again led to the guidance. So what I didn't get from my father at that opportune time, it was the people who shaped his life that said, oh, no. He's not going to be lost in the mix. His dad might be here, but here, let me put you under here and give you what we supposed to give you. This is our job, brothers. If, for any other brothers that's listening, the Uncle Junior, because I got Uncle Junior too. Out there, the Uncle Tito's. Listen, even if you don't have a child, your presence as a man contributes to the men in your joint. And that's what my great-grandfather did. He knew his position in what those stories was going to do for me. It helped shape me as a man. My grandfather, him telling me stories. Man, you don't know, man, you know what's in your blood? So to hear that from what you emerge from, as a man, it helps create your value. And a lot of us miss out on that. So therefore, it's like you go to the pawn shop. We go out here in the world, you misvalue.
Right.
And then you lost in your misvalue. So now they slightly telling you a nigga and you lesser, you adhere to that. But I couldn't adhere to that because I was told from my great-grandfather where my bloodline and where I emerged from. You feel what I'm saying? So that's what I'm fortunate. I swear I'm fortunate because I give that to my sons now. You know what I mean? I give that to my nephews and my little homies in the hood. But anybody, the little dude I see, his mom ain't around, whoever I could offer that to, man. That's what that richness and that experience gives me and position me to do, man.
Let me get into some fun stuff, man. So I know you representing BK all day. And
all day, all year, all galaxies better him.
Okay, so I'm gonna have to get some borough beef going on here. What makes Brooklyn better than any other borough in New York? Because I got some people from Harlem, I got people from Staten Island, I got people from Queens, all over the place. But tell the viewers, what makes Brooklyn stand out better than any New York borough?
It's a long list. Nah, let me...
Exclusive.
Right? My and this is not no mafia shit. My grandfather and my dad and my uncles, when they see each other, they kiss each other on the cheek. So when I went to go live with my dad, this is what he knows. I don't know this. You know what I mean? So coming in the house one day like, hey boy, I miss you. You know, machismo. You ain't kissing me. What you doing, man? We don't do that. That's Lil Wayne and Babies. No to that's Lil Wayne and Babies. No to that's Lil Wayne and Babies. No to I did.
What's up, young scholars? It's the dad Cypher.
Before the hood at 19, no tutorial books. You learn that the presence.
What advice would you give to that brother that's stuck in those stagnant waters that feel like, man, I don't have shit. All I know is the streets. I don't, how am I going to do this? What do you have for those? How can you help that brother transform from stagnant water to flowing water?
First, if you don't like mosquito bites, keep your ass moving. You know, I always want to offer humility just to let brothers know it's all right, man. At one time, I thought being a father, just like you, was disciplining. Oh, when daddy come,
Right.
oh, when daddy come, I could give my kids that look, and then it's like, oh, but in that, like we were saying, what transparency of it are you just giving them a facade, or are you giving them you? You know what I mean?
Mm.
And that's the thing that I seen in our culture is dads. Look, James Evans. You see him in good times. You see maybe
Right.
Carl Winslow, maybe, you know what I mean? Some, you know, you get the different things of it, and that kind of that hardness. Yeah, we need that. But yo, man, it's I share this story with you. This that showed me I have to be compassionate as a father.
Mm.
When me and my
Mm.
dad, me and my biological dad, in the memoirs speak about this, but I don't tell this story. I'm giving you a exclusive,
Exclusive.
right? My and this is not no mafia shit. My grandfather and my dad and my uncles, when they see each other, they kiss each other on the cheek. So when I went to go live with my dad, this is what he knows. I don't know this. You know what I mean? So came or coming in the house one day like, hey boy, I miss you. You know, machismo. You ain't kissing me. What you doing, man? We don't do that. That's Lil Wayne and babies. No, I was young. I didn't see what was. You feel me?
Right.
That
Right.
day, me and my father in the living room, he said, "What? You gonna kiss me, boy?" We scrapping. We scrapping in the living room. We fall. We down on the floor. My pops grabbed me on the cheek, not the lips. Grabbed me, kissed my cheek. And he said to me, when you have your sons and you do that, you tell me how that feels. I do that with my sons.
Wow.
With my firstborn, the first time I did that, see, he was already my youngin, so I'm already this ain't no suckers. This ain't no girlies. This is
Right. Right.
I'm confident in who I am as a man, but you come from me. So I'm not gonna do no fancy print. We're not gonna do what is not of man, but I'm gonna show you that I love you in a respectful and a manly way, and that's what I took. And
Man.
that's kind of the embodiment of Richmond. We forget a lot of times as men and parents, we so caught up in what the parents supposed to do and all that, and we miss the lessons of the interaction that's supposed to happen. You know what I mean? So at some point, you have to show your kids who you are.
Man. That's man, you know what, man? It you know, when you telling me the slapbox story with your dad and stuff, that is it's making me think, you know, how many brothers are lost. When I had read a story like months ago, like these brothers trying to go in on the rapper Wiz Khalifa, man. He kissed his son. I was like, yo, he's a 7-year-old. And I'm like, what's the matter, my guy? I was like, do you want him like where he has no damn feelings towards his kids but slapping the hell out of them? I'm like, brothers, I was like, some of y'all need some therapy, some help. But man, brothers, it's okay to show compassion and affection to your kid so your kid can know how to do that same thing.
And listen, it's just to add that chisel. God damn it, man. We so hardened. I get it. We so hardened. That's for the world, though. That's the thing I've learned and still am learning, because I'm still in them spaces. Like with my youngest son, I'm learning. Not all your children you're gonna raise or should raise is different. Some might need different methods. Some might need different degrees of things. And that's where, as a parent, and you asked me to, and I'm sorry to be removed from that, but this is so passionate to me. I could go there, but you asked me for that young brother that need to know. I want you to understand change, and this is just my thing. Change and evolution is two different things. Change is becoming something that you wasn't. Evolution is becoming what was already deemed in you to be. Again, that's my perspective.
Right.
Asking me to change, when you asking me to change, you asking me to step outside of things I may know or things that may already be in me. When we evolve, brothers, we become what's deeper in us that for some reason society or blocks have not allowed. Allow your higher self, because in our higher self, everything that's in our kingdom, in our body, is going to move to a higher self, and that includes our kids first. So that's what I cannot be removed from in offering any of our young brothers. That
And I just had to open up the third eye, man. You put the third eye.
is that fact? Because I was there. I'm not telling y'all nothing. Because look, I'm far from never claim to be perfect. Because again, I'm still learning. But that's where a lot of young brothers in that we get stuck in that hardness, like you said. That Wiz Khalifa kissed the son. Now with certain things, I ain't gonna go through that. I think we need to draw the line on as men, and don't let society do. But to show our children love, especially our sons, that's where that hardness come from. You be all stressed out and shit. You don't, come on, brothers. Blood pressure already killing us. Diabetes, all that shit, man. Tell your son you love him so he can identify as a man. Nah, this ain't no this shit. This is camaraderie between men, and this is how you carry it. And then anything else ain't for us to discuss. You know what I mean?